Good morning, everybody. It's Matt and Dyan. Welcome back to OK Aussie. Bright early in the morning edition.
Thank you.
Coffee time, apparently.
Isn't it amazing?
Cheers. Salute.
If someone makes you coffee in the morning.
Keep on with them, apparently.
No.
They call it a barista.
It's just a really special thing, but also you've done this ever since you first met.
Gee, that's a lot of coffees in 34 years.
Yeah, I wonder how many coffees that is.
Still can't get it right, apparently. I'm working on it anyway.
You probably started off with the chronic fatigue trying to wake me up.
Well, I hope everybody's having a good morning on your
Good
side
morning,
of the
guys.
camera.
I hope you guys are good, yeah.
We've had a very
Absolutely.
early morning. It's currently 6:11 a.m. on a Friday, the 23rd of May.
But we were awake at about 4:30.
Well, actually 4:11 is when you were startled awake.
Yeah, so basically, guys, I woke up wetting the bed.
Yeah, not a good way to start the day,
And
urenesis.
I got quite emotional. I thought that, oh my gosh, like this is it. Like I thought, am I heading into the? I did. I thought I was heading into the dying phase. I thought I'm losing faculties. Because I've had a lot of other things too happening. But anyway, we went through. I said, look, let's go through the SAMI 3.
The SAMI 3 is a camera that we have always on, 24 hours a day and night. It's a movement sensor camera for seizures. It's one of the seizure detection devices that we have
So
in
we
place.
had a look at that, didn't we?
We went through all the footage, and for an hour beforehand,
For an hour,
so it's
I
about
was
3:10.
having a seizure,
Yeah,
was going in and out of seizures.
A lot of dystonia, seizures.
And my legs are doing weird things. And so it was a seizure, and obviously, and what happens with me, you know, everyone's different with their seizures. And I mean, I don't know, maybe this is one of the common ones, but I had to go to the toilet really badly. And obviously being a nocturnal, I just went.
That continence urge probably only happens in about just over 30% of those who are having seizures.
I had it on my very first seizure. I wet myself.
Well, we've had a few in the early days, but most of the time it's you're cognizant and you have an urge prior in the pre-ictal stage.
Yeah.
That's pre-ictal is before seizure. So you normally race to the toilet.
Yeah.
And they go, why are you racing to the toilet? That may be. It was an early indication for us, didn't it?
Didn't it? When I
it's like, oh, here we go, possibly having a seizure, and she does it in a few minutes.
Go to the toilet, just normal, just like. But if it was a seizure one, I'd rush.
But be mindful, like I said, only about 30%, 32%, I think it is. People who are having seizures actually will wet themselves during it.
So if you find someone unconscious, don't assume that it's not a seizure.
Correct.
It's basically, I guess what we're saying is like...
It's the same with biting your tongue or cheek or lips. You don't happen during seizure. No, I'm just saying. Well, they also miss, and this is the thing, it's good to actually dispel myths.
A lot of doctors say a lot of these myths.
They do. It's like,
oh my God, it's like...
Which
You're not
is
an
why
epidemiologist, and I suggest you go talk to one. It's probably one at the hospital, and even the who's Sarah's title?
She's a neurophysiologist.
Neurophysiologist. Talk to all these people because you really don't know what you're talking about.
It's helpful on our channel to educate, advocate, but also to dispel some of the myths, because if you assume that this is what's meant to happen every time,
and you know, if you go to an average doctor for your first seizures, they will look for these things. Yeah. And it's stupid because everybody's so different.
Everyone's different. Nobody has the same patterns.
Everybody's
But what a shock to your system waking up at 4:11 and I saw you on the SAMI 3 camera. It was a startled, well, I mean, it would be a startled awake. It's like having a bucket of water thrown over you. Oh my God, what's going on?
No, because I was halfway through it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what's going on? And I was just like, why is this happening? And then I was like, oh my goodness, I'm losing more and more faculties. And I'm like, no, please don't be going to the actual dying phase now. But no, I'm not.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing to start the day.
Well, we hope not. But basically, I obviously had a nocturnal, which I had a loose bowel for the last 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
And
what does that affect for you?
That means my sodium valproate levels go down.
Sodium valproate's epinephrine, that's one of her seizure medications.
Happened, but because we've been so busy and, you know, quite productive actually, I'm very...
You have?
Very
which one are we doing?
That one, and...
It's too early in the morning. Too early in the morning to get our brains coordinating.
That's my love language.
She's had a little limited amount of sleep.
Yeah, so have you. But basically what I'm saying is like, you know...
So with the sodium valproate, and it's actually important to understand that because you've got hold on before you go on, and I know ADHD. You've got two parts. You've got absorption. How much does the body absorb correctly, or does it get flushed out? You know, if you're throwing up or you've got diarrhea, those two things
it's the
affected.
same as the pill. Think of it as if you're a woman
ladies,
and you're on the pill and you have diarrhea or you throw up. You know your pill is not effective.
Yep.
So same with the sodium valproate.
Yep.
We suddenly have a seizure because our sodium valproate is not effective.
And it's funny, it was only yesterday afternoon we were talking about...
Oh, should we have another one?
Should you be doing... Well, not just that, but we're also talking about the level. Yeah. Should we be actually having another blood test?
I said I'm overdue for a blood test.
To check out your sodium valproate levels, because the epilepsy levels have a certain percentile. How much is in your body, in your bloodstream?
We'll get the hospital to do it.
Whilst you're in there, because you're about to go in the hospital in a couple of days' time. So, yeah, go figure on that one. But I was worried about you. I'm seeing that, you know, from 3 o'clock in the morning you're doing all the seizure activity.
For an hour, guys.
It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. No wonder you're so physically drained and tired when your body's doing this all the time.
I've had, you know, like, and I'm lucky with my ADHD. I can survive on 5 hours sleep and do very, very well. It's the superpower of my ADHD because the hyper. I have the hyper part. You don't have the hyper part as much. You've got more of the hyper focus and things like that. ADD. Yeah. I reckon you're under the ADD umbrella, but me, hyper. Like, I am ridiculous, but the superpower of ADHD is, for me, 5 hours sleep. That's fine for me. I can keep going.
Excuse me. I did a few more hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But my concern with that, of course, is since you've been awake, effectively, actively doing things with seizures from 3 to 4, physically awake from 4 o'clock onwards, it is a short start of the day, less quality of your sleep. So
we're going to have to be careful
less REM, because you don't get your REM, your deep sleep, until the early hours of the morning.
We'll be sleeping early tonight. Like,
I hope so.
Well,
but you're high risk now
I'll be
for
doing
more seizures.
all of my sleep hygiene routine, including because I do my melatonin and I do all these different stages. I'm going to do them all early, an hour early tonight.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to increase your sodium valproate today because we've been talking about for the last 3 days. Yeah, we do know with gastroparesis and because your bowels are flushing out, this is why she's going into hospital early. This is why there's such a critical team around just the procedures she's about to go into. Because as she starts to flush out, which is what you have to do for gastroenterology for when you're doing an endoscopy and colonoscopy, you're naturally going to reduce the efficacy level of the medications. They're probably
going to be like, abort, she just seized again.
I hope not, because then you're going through all that
and
exercise.
I'll be like, I'm sorry, I can't control this.
God.
This is just something that, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to live with it, you have to live with it.
Absolutely.
It's funny when in hospitals when they're like, oh, this is so difficult. Oh, this is so stressful. And they're like, no wonder why they get the social worker to write an NDS letter to say, hey, like this person needs more help at home, like it's a home hospital help type thing. And it's like, they can't cope. And I'm like, you're nurses. This dude copes with it 24/7.
I know, crazy, hey. You know what I'm really pissed off though this morning? The shops aren't open yet.
I
wanted to go shop. It's like, if I'm awake up 10 past 5 or 10 past 5 in the morning, it's like, let's go.
Me at 5 in the
Come
morning.
On, let's do it. Shop should be open. What's going on with you?
I want to go to Coles and get some stuff.
I
want to go now.
I've got things to do.
I just want to go now. And I'm like,
I know I could go to IGA.
You don't live in New York and you don't live in Karratha up north.
Some of the towns, some of the country towns up north where our mining industries are occurring,
the miners,
they've obviously got some shops and stores open 24/7 because they've got shifts that are rotating through. But we don't have that here. We do have a 24/7 IGA across the bridge, but it's not the same thing. It's expensive too.
Yeah.
And they don't have the same products.
Everything that you need.
So it's a pointless exercise.
Actually, that's an IGA for when you've got guests coming and you want some nice food.
Bougie food.
Oh my God, it's bougie.
IGA is good for bougie food. We love it
because it's got like boutique-y type food.
IGA is Independent Grocers Association. They're a chain of
snacks.
What about the less than 10 staff? So they're able to. The rules in Perth are if you have less than 10 staff, you can be open extended hours.
Yeah, I worked for one. So basically, I used to work a lot of the public holidays because I was like, well, at least you're home with the kids and I can earn lots more money. And I love that job, but I got too sick to keep going.
Hence why we're here where we're at. Yeah.
You know, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And with my condition, I've done very well. So I should be very proud of myself.
You should be, absolutely.
But I loved working there. I love every job I've had, even if it's the simple jobs like that, I've loved them. And I worked in an IGA and it was a public holiday And I went in and I'm trying to clock on. It literally is that clock on thing. You put the paper in the thing.
Oh, the old ones, yeah,
Card
on the
thing.
wall.
And I'm like, why is it not punching the timestamp? And it does like the time and the date.
Yep.
And I'm like, why is it not doing it? And then the manager comes out and it's dipshit me. And he goes, see, to 20, because it's all numbered. So 20 staff can only be on at one time at that particular store. And I was like, oh. And he goes, yeah, so-and-so hasn't clocked off yet because they're doing this big thing. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, don't worry about it, just wait. Like, it's all good. You know, you're not in trouble. Because here I am, this autistic of, it's
rules.
It's my clock on time. I must clock on and go to work. Clock on and go to start to get on my till. And I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he's like,
it's a deviation on a routine.
Just hang out and wait.
It's still not fair though, because even though that person's not clocked off, you haven't clocked on, you're not getting paid yet. So you're there early,
true.
ready to go.
That's true.
Okay.
But it was only by 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah,
they have tight
it was
rules
annoying.
around that for the government.
Yeah, it's actually, that's what he said. He said, look, I would let you clock on, but, the rules, and it is stupid government. I mean, come on, it's petty.
Yeah.
Because you should allow for that one person who has to clock on, or 1 to 3 people that have to clock on. And if you look at the time, normally there is a 10-15 minute crossover.
Yeah.
For those 2 or 3 people, 1 to 3 people. Anyway.
Tag team. You just need to go over and tag them and jump in.
Beep, beep.
It's like an episode from the checkout, isn't it?
No, it's just stimmy.
It is stimmy. Was it the sound or was it just simply the rhythm? I mean, you used to remember all the products that people will buy.
I used to love packing the bags. OCD was for
okay,
there.
OCD tick.
The beeps were like
autism
very
is just
much
routine
stimmy.
and regular, yeah.
And
stimmy.
then just the motion of the repetitive action was very satisfying because us autistics like repetition.
Well, you get that in that job, don't you?
With the songs in our ears when we go the same song. Thank goodness for headsets, because you know what? Before I was rather exposed.
Oh.
The boys, they'd be like, why are you listening to the same song, Mum, over and over and over again? And you'd be puzzled by it.
It's like, skip, come on, another song. We know the lyrics to that one already.
Do you remember I do it in the car?
Do I remember?
And you're like, what are you doing? Like, can we please let the next song happen now? And I'm like, okay, sorry about that. I don't realise, you see, it's just so natural.
Yeah.
But thank God for headsets.
Thank God for headsets.
Because I can listen to it 10 times now. And no one says anything because no one has to put up with it. But guys,
nice choice in songs though, I don't mind that. But yeah,
I've got
same thing.
We both got the same
and over and over. No wonder you got echolalia. Over and over and over.
I like to learn the lyrics.
Oh goodness me!
I like to learn.
I learned the lyrics. It's like watching
poetry.
Gilmore Girls the whole season, year after year after year after year. I know the Gilmore Girls, the TV series, inside out. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen next. I can tell you what their lines are.
And Dance Mum.
Oh God, this is
the
life of an autistic.
Because I watch those things over and over and over again.
It's comforting, isn't it?
Because it's comforting. When I was a dancer, Dance Mums, that's truth in my world. For some of the schools I went to, not my main school I went to, who
the crazy dance mums,
is the true dancer of Perth, Jan Delinsky. I'm just saying, super cool lady.
Shout out to Jan Delinsky, yeah.
But all the other ones, they were a lot like, dance mums, and the mums were all like dance mums, and it's just true life. And I was the Maddie Ziegler, so it was very difficult for me.
Well, you were a student teacher, weren't you?
But it was lucky though, because when you are, because me and this other girl, Catherine, we were the main ones. And so we were kept away from everyone. So I liked that because the other mums used to dig at us, and the other students used to dig at us. So we used to be kept away.
Competitive field, isn't it? There's dancing, the politics, internal politics.
It was really bad, and so they kept us away.
Pecking orders,
from people, and always
sounds very competitive to me.
Yeah, they used to supervise us with other parents, because other parents used to come at us.
Jeez.
Literally say nasty things.
So it sounds like a contact sport. Dancing sounds dangerous. Wow, you should pad up or something, Helmet, elbow pads. God. These girls. Full on. So today, what have we got? What happened yesterday as well? Where are we at the moment?
No, but I'm just so sad. Like this is what now makes me more nervous for hospital. I didn't need this to happen.
No.
Because now I'm worried that with the instruments in me, if I seize, what is going to happen to my body?
See, the good thing is, which you understand, is when you're under a general anaesthetic, your body is going to be just like I'm giving you midazolam, same concept.
What is that rat bag doing?
Very
Maximus.
Max is
The
out and
the
about.
the birds have had a lot of fuss, right? Because they've got a whole renovated cage. He's jelly.
Someone's been to the Happy Pet place. I'm glad she didn't come back with a llama or a guinea pig or
And
5.
I was looking at even dog toys for
We haven't got a dog.
No, for someone that we know that I really like. And she needs the dog toys so she can get her work done.
Okay.
And I saw a really
She
cute
wants to buy
one.
dog toys for
And I was
someone else's
like,
dog. This
I
is
said,
Dyan.
I've got to get that next time for the
Okay.
dogs. For these dogs.
Like I said, I'm glad we didn't come home with a llama or a guinea
I'm
pig.
just saying
Hello, Max.
the dogs need that cool toy.
Yes.
But basically,
Good morning. Did you
we've
want to say good
changed
morning
a
to
lot of
everybody?
sheets, as you can imagine,
Hi.
of bedding.
Hello, everybody.
So, thanks to me.
How are you? Go and play with over there.
Hello, darling.
He is go
is
active in the morning.
He's in a difficult phase, isn't he?
Yes.
What would you call the phase? Teenager phase?
No, he's still in the toddler phase. What are you talking
No,
about?
wouldn't you call it more teenager phase now?
No, definitely
Still
still
toddler.
toddler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bought him some new toys, so he thinks now it's a bit like Christmas. You know, Christmas when you have
Every
kids,
day it's Christmas in this
and
house.
they get a little obnoxious after Christmas, and
True.
you're just like, oh, they think life is all about them. We've got to pull
Christmas
them back
is
in.
every day.
We've got to pull them back in.
Rein them back
Reality.
in. Yeah.
Life's not all about you. Because basically they get so spoiled at Christmas. That's what he's doing. He's got all these new cat toys.
Too much love.
And even Willow. I'm brushing him at night to give him some attention and give him
That's
some
an
love.
older 8-year-old
And I'm just trying
ragdoll
to
boy
keep,
cat.
stop him from any knots or anything because,
Hold on, tell them what sort of brush you're using to brush Willow at night on the
I
bed.
thought I'd use my strawberry shortcake one because I don't use it because my hair's too thick. It'll just
A
break.
strawberry shortcake hairbrush. You're brushing the cats.
Absolutely.
And he enjoyed it. He was just on his
was
back,
in
paws
his
up.
element.
On the tummy,
He was
mummy.
like, oh, over here.
Ridiculous.
Here.
These ragdoll
Here.
cats, I mean, seriously.
Here.
Lazy, but fantastic as a support animal
Yeah.
for people with disabilities because they lounge around so
He
much.
looks beautiful. Look
They
at him.
relax, they're chill,
And look at
beautiful
it, they're
attitude. They're not the
playing at the
retriever
moment.
of the cat world, if you want to put it in that sort of
Yes,
perspective.
correct.
Golden
If
retriever.
you want, if you've got a loved one who's not well, whether they're elderly
Personality
or
plus.
disabled, or you're disabled or
cuddles.
elderly, get yourself a rag doll cat.
Yep.
You will not look back. They're a cat dog. So basically,
They are like a cat dog.
everyone describes them that way, and they do, don't they? They give you that cat love. They're easy maintenance for disability and elderly. They give
They do
you
need a
that
bit of
kind
brushing,
of
so I'll
extra.
point that out.
Yeah,
for
they do
matching.
need brushing.
But
so
if you got a strawberry shortcake hairbrush, you're fine.
yes, if you just brush them regularly, you can prevent any sort of difficult knots. But basically, yeah, I recommend them because they're very good companions because they're more than a cat. Because domestics are lovely, don't get me wrong. I would have lots of cats and lots of dogs.
Crazy
and
cat lady over here.
Lots of animals.
Definitely. You have to have a
Budgies,
menagerie or a zoo.
parrots, weirdos, goats, a horse,
Goats, llamas,
guinea
the whole lot.
pigs,
Donkey.
bunnies. So basically,
Yeah.
a duck.
I think we're going to get.
Ducks.
We were talking about this
Donald
yesterday.
Duck and Daisy Duck.
I think we're going to get you the zoo pass sorted out.
Yes.
Because
I want
Zoo
to
is
get to
just
know
down
the
the road.
orangutans because I thought maybe I can be friends with the orangutans.
Why not?
The only difference is between me and them is their voice, is them lacking a voice box.
Yes. Imagine you were always called a little monkey as a
Imagine what
child
they'd be
growing
saying
up.
to us.
Probably because
I
you
mean,
scrambled and
guys,
climbed across the
don't
walls
you ever
and the
look
roof.
through the glass and just, I can read their mind
Yes.
because I am telepathic.
That's it.
I read their
Autistic
mind.
telepathic
And
intuition.
they look at me
yeah.
and they're like, why are you looking at me through the glass? You're just one of those weirdos again. Don't act like you're normal and you're special and you like me better. They all act like that.
What's her name? Jane Gooding, wasn't it? The female researcher who spent the years in the Amazon?
Jane.
It was Jane somebody. What if you remember the name? Tell me in the
gosh,
comments below. I thought it was
yeah.
Jane Gooding, but I might be wrong on the surname.
But you know the lady that lived with them for
20 plus
decades.
years
Yeah.
in the forest with the
But that's what they're
orangutans,
saying to me. They're
gorillas,
like,
gorillas in the mist.
I
That's what
don't
it
get
was,
you
wasn't it?
people that come here. Here we are locked up,
Yep.
and you come here and you look through the glass at us. We don't like it.
Well, I think we're going to
They're
get onto that.
depressed.
We're going to get that Perth Zoo
So I'm going to have some
membership.
counselling sessions with them because
We're going to do some
I've got
counselling
basic
sessions with
counselling
orangutans.
skills. I can do counselling, and so basically I can sit there and I'm going to have a chat.
You know, a lot
because
of
us humans should not be doing that to them.
during your psychology, and Dyan studied psychology at university.
That's a horrible...
Did you go to the zoo to study the
No.
orangutans? Because I know at
No.
high school we did at one point in time. I'm assuming you probably
Really?
would. Yeah.
Not for... No, we didn't
A
actually.
lot of times
Psychology doesn't get
through maybe
excursions.
primary school and high school, you do
No
quite commonly
excursions in
excursions to
psychology.
the zoo because again, it's a chance to see
Nah.
animals in
No
captivity, but
excursions
study
in
them.
psychology, but what we did get, but that was community studies because I did my electives in community studies.
Yeah, when you're doing TAFE, technical and
No.
further education.
No, when I was at uni,
Oh,
I was
university?
doing
Right.
electives in
Oh,
community
electives,
studies,
okay.
which basically is like human services, welfare, social
Right.
welfare, whatever you want to call
Mhm.
it, is the higher level
Mhm.
of that is called community studies at
Yeah.
uni. So
Understand?
I did that, and with that, I ended up, they had kids that would come from the daycare
Mm-hmm.
from, because at the university I went to, they had a daycare, so there was actual university daycare for mums that wanted to put their kids in.
Okay, this was
Yeah,
studies
that
or
was
parents.
just not far,
Yeah, staff
you know,
on
because the
site.
campus was huge. And then, like, basically, I
Mm.
could do behavioural interventions with the kids.
So they had a creche on campus,
No,
which
for
was
the
really
kids.
there for
No,
a
no,
psychological experiment. I hope those kids signed a waiver before you guys got.
Oh, they
I'm going to
would've,
start
yeah.
psychoanalyzing
The-
you
the
at 2 years
parents
of
would
age.
have
You're
been-
definitely autistic.
No, the
You
parents
over there,
would-
Johnny, who's lining up all your engines in a row, you're definitely on the spectrum. That one. Jane, start sharing your crayons over. I could well imagine you guys in the whole
Studying
psychology,
children.
studying the kids in the
Yeah.
creche and the daycare. Is this even
I
right?
studied my own children.
I know, best way to do it, isn't it?
Yes,
Funny
it was
about
wonderful.
that. We laugh, but they're good times.
I've got very inquisitive children.
You have. Now, yesterday, what did we get up to? I had some interviews yesterday, didn't I?
Oh, because look, guys, we're waiting for the change of circumstances.
Not me being interviewed,
So
I'm
we've had
interviewing.
to reduce hours just to be safe.
So this is under the NDS,
Um,
National Disability Insurance Scheme.
so
Guidance of Personal
It's
Disability.
just, guys, it's a government department, so we're waiting. Anyway, so in the
January,
meantime,
February,
we're
March,
getting our staff
April, May.
organised
Oh, it's
because
almost June.
yeah, we're getting our staff organised because we're going to be getting probably 16 to 24 hours.
Yep, a day, 7 days a week.
7 days a week. So basically,
Around the clock supports.
we are organising because 16 hours is the reason for that, which is still wrong. I know that a lot of you that know this system know that's wrong for people like me, how sick I am. But they're going to expect him to do 8 hours.
I'm the
7
informal
days a
carer
week.
because I'm on
8
site.
hours.
I'm providing that.
7 days a week.
Well, I just said I'm not going to
No,
be
but
performing
think
24
about
hours a day, 7 days a week.
8 hours, 7 days a week.
I know.
It's a lot of work.
365 days a year.
And he only gets the carer's pension. So
Yeah.
don't complain
Yeah.
that people like him don't work because that's just rubbish. They work harder.
At 3:11 in the morning, I'm up here doing seizures. Yes.
Exactly.
Here I am
and
today.
changing wet beds because I've weed my bed.
Yes, and cleaning you up. So
But
that's the process.
basically, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
they take the 8 hours away because they chuck it onto him. So anyway, we're waiting for the response, but you've met, and 2 of them he said are perfect.
Yep, so I did
They've
3
worked with
interviews
medically
yesterday.
complex patient people.
Yes,
They're
absolutely.
not scared of seizures,
Not scared
and
of
they're happy to
seizures.
swim with me.
That's important. And they've got a driver's license so they can
And
drive
they
a
can
car.
drive. And so basically,
So here's my little checklist of things that they needed to be able to do. A, do you have a driver's license and can you drive? That's a useful thing because if you don't, she doesn't get to go anywhere. Very, very
I've
important.
got
That's been.
places to go.
Can you
people
swim?
to
Because
see
we've had a lot of
things to
staff
do.
who
Happy
are
pet
allergic to
place.
water or don't want to wear bathers or don't want to actually or
My
can't swim.
pets are happy.
So that means they can get in the water, pool, lake, river, sea,
Hydrotherapy
hydrotherapy.
as well,
with
yeah.
God, again, an
I
important
love
activity.
hydrotherapy, guys.
Can they cook? Well, that's a useful skill. Not just boil water, but actually be able to cook and prepare meals.
I'd like
Can
that.
they clean? Tick. These are important things.
I need that.
Have
I've
they got
OCD.
manual handling, seizure, medication compliance? Because if they can't manage and handle medications, if they can't be comfortable during seizures,
And the reason for that,
pointless
guys,
exercise.
is I can't take medications because of my neuropsych's report.
Mhm.
And I agree. I don't disagree with her. I'm not offended. I agree with her. The confusion, the forgetfulness, dangerous.
Well, that forgetfulness was even evident last night when you're asking, have I had this medication or not? if you're in that
Yeah,
state, you go,
I do it all the time.
do I go and have another one? And of course, we don't want you having too much of the medication or thinking, maybe I
or
did,
not taking
or
one.
not taking. So
I'm
it's a
as
responsibility
wrong.
of myself to make sure I'm overseeing the medications,
And you know
the
what?
right
And
medications
shouldn't
for the
be,
scene too.
because you need time off, and also you might end up in hospital.
Absolutely.
Like if you end up in hospital tomorrow, we need people that are like, boom,
Correct.
ready to
Continuity
go.
of
Know
care.
me. Otherwise, it's like, you know, even though I'm an adult.
She's an adult.
Okay.
51 years of age.
I'm an adult.
I know, right?
Even though my mental age is lower, I'm still an adult in mental age. So basically,
honey, I was trying to show you adulting, please.
But I cannot be left home alone.
Yeah.
So I have to have someone take care of me, because that's just what my condition needs.
Particularly when you're dealing with respiratory, cardiac dystonia, seizures on a regular sort of basis, and then the fatiguing conditions, you can't get up to the kitchen.
But even regardless of that, let's be honest, because I think that because I'm an orphan, because my parents are such lazy parents when I was a kid and don't want to be parents as an adult, most of us have guardianship, and then guardianship to the partners if they do go into a relationship, right? But I don't have guardians, so I don't have parents in the background helping him out as guardians.
There's
as
no
well,
other informal support.
because you can have multiple guardians, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, that's why our situation is what it is. It's so much pressure on one person.
And I'm done at the moment EPG,
they've
which is
failed
enduring
me.
power
They've
of guardian for
continued to
medical.
fail me, and some people are in this position. And I'm going to say this: I was watching last night. You know, it was a show for love.
Oh,
for Down syndrome.
Down for Love. It's from New Zealand.
And Down syndrome people are close to my heart because I'm next to them in the genes. I'm on the 22nd arm.
So those with Down syndrome are affected in the 21st
DNA
chromosome. Dyan's affected in the 22nd chromosome.
I studied this at uni. Why did I not
deletion
remember?
syndrome.
I found
23 pairs of chromosomes
the
that we have.
DNA stuff so hard. I did a first year med unit. I found the DNA stuff hard, but when it got to learning about hormones, I did great. And when I was learning about the brain, I remember like someone saying, "Oh, you know, just can someone give me a rundown?" Because we're about to walk into our exam, and we're sitting having a coffee because we all used to get there very early in the morning, go through revising, do whatever. I used to do revising even that at home before even that. Nerd. And someone said, you know, can we just go through the brain thing again? And I started rolling off all this stuff, and she's like, I'm going to fail.
How to crush a person's dreams
said,
before they go into their own exam in the morning.
No, you remember all this. It's just, that's, think of it as like a story. Like that was just a story. You remember that now. And she's like, no, I won't.
Can I sit next to you?
Then I'm thinking, but then again, no. When I studied the eyeball, I remember I had a massive whiteboard, didn't I? And you used to come in, and it was covered, especially the brain.
It's meant to be on my whiteboard for work, but forget about that.
Things about the synapses.
The rods, the cones, and everything else.
The eyeballs, the rods, the cones, and what they do, and all the... Anyway, I got right into this, and I'm thinking, oh, now I want to be a GP. Now I want to be a GP. Now I want to be but
I don't like blood.
Oh,
don't like touching people.
But I'm like people.
That's all you need to say to an autistic. No, you got to deal with people. Nah, probably not going to work.
Well, I'm studying psychology, and we're all talking.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not sitting in a room with someone
probably
doing that.
The whole
and
point of psychology.
they're all looking at me like,
you do understand.
now I get why they
do
were
understand
looking
what
at
the
me
course
like
was
that.
about, don't you?
I would have, you know what I would have done? Gone into the science laboratory and said, this is where I belong.
Yeah, you'll do the research.
I don't want to be with the people
not
in
the
a clinical setting when they go, oh yes, you know, this is my brother and sister are doing this and this such. Oh, they're just so jealous.
Yeah, you can do research,
treating me like
statistics.
This. And I'll just sit there and go, just tell them to fuck off then.
Not what you do as a counsellor,
and
honey.
Guess what? No, you know what I disagreed with?
Yeah.
And sorry for outing the system here, but it is what it is.
What's the 101 on psychology at uni?
Psychology, okay, they're all fake. Don't bother with them if you don't need them. You're taught one way. You're not allowed to really... I mean, people do probably, but they could get into trouble for it.
By APA, yeah.
By APA, Australian Psychological Association. But basically, you are indoctrinated into a format.
Yep, it's
A
quite sharp.
format, right? You
Stick to
cannot
the
go off
script.
of that.
Yep, don't go off the
It's
reservation.
so messed up, and everything's going to be your fault. Everything will be your fault.
Well, that's the only thing that they can
so
change.
just, you know
They
what?
can't change other people, so
Just
it's got to be
sit
your
at
fault.
home if
Isn't
you
that
want.
how it works?
If you, no, but think of this.
Yeah.
If you want to like save some money, just sit at home and go, it's all your fault. It's all your fault.
There
it's
you
all
go.
Your fault. In
Psychology
the mirror.
tips from Dyan. Go to the mirror, say, it's all your fault.
No,
Move on.
no,
You've just saved
no.
yourself thousands of dollars.
No,
hundreds of
no,
hours.
They're not my. Wait. My psychology tips are
Right.
you are worthy just by existing.
Exactly, you are.
This world has been built in a way that's not suited to human beings.
No.
That's like putting
animals.
monkeys in an enclosure or in a
zoo.
societal system for them.
Yep.
That's not natural for them.
Yeah.
Okay. They are doing this, and our brains and our automatic nervous systems are overreacting
Yep.
and struggling and freezing and doing weird things.
Oh, yeah.
Not you. It is actually the whole system. And who makes the system? The government.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, your reaction, so say if you are leaning on vices like drinking, smoking,
Addictions.
alcohol,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about severe ones, you need to get real help because that is a deep thing.
But
and
crutches
I
at the
do
end of the
feel
day
for
to get
people
you
like
through
that.
life.
But if you want help, I will high five you and encourage you to do so if it's real deep. But I'm talking about the mild ones. Okay, I'm talking about the functioning alcoholics, the functioning under eaters. I'm talking about the functional underspenders, overspenders. Who underspends? I don't know.
Don't know about that.
Actually, me, I'm very
You're so budget
I'm
conscious,
very,
it's ridiculous.
very scared of spending money. I always, I don't know, every time I go to check out, I'm like,
You're very
maybe
budget
we should put
focused.
all this back.
She actually is.
Put it back.
Yeah.
I
You're
shouldn't spend.
calculating everything as you go along.
So basically, yeah, like, what was I saying?
Who thought
Yeah,
this morning's
no.
coffee would turn into a lesson in psychology
guys,
and
no,
why you
guys,
don't need psychotherapy?
No, guys, I want you to remember this. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're reacting to a very sick and unhealthy society that's toxic.
Yep.
Nothing is designed to work. It's all designed to fail. The systems are broken.
That's probably the best
You're
and
not
simple
broken.
takeaway out of all what you've just said.
Understand that you're in
Have a break.
isolation. You're in isolation because they've broken the families through the TV.
Yeah.
Through the TV and the
Indoctrination.
brainwashing.
Yeah, training, okay.
Programming.
Yep.
Okay. The TV has changed television. Tell your vision. It's telling you what you're meant to see life like.
Yeah.
That's not life. We all think it is. Not just
So
you.
turn
I'm
off the
not saying
electronics,
you. I
go
think
to nature,
that's
go
how
camping.
life should be too. But it's not how life is.
It's not realistic.
So please don't feel bad about who you are if you're struggling. It is the world that's sick and struggling. Look at the government. Look at the debt of your government and then look at your bank account debt and go, yeah, well, they're in bloody debt. If the government can't do it,
And who's paying for
how
that?
am I
That'd
supposed to
be
do
you.
it? Now, get out of debt though, because we've been debt free before we even had to go on the pensions and had to go
Decades, don't you?
supported decades, right? Because we learned
fiscal
very
management.
quickly that's just don't like
Yeah.
even car loans and
Didn't
all
believe
of
in
that.
credit.
Really be careful. It's such a trap and it's such a burden that you do not
So like I was saying, I
need.
think your biggest takeaway is have a break. Okay, if you're
Step
feeling stressed and everything
back.
else,
It's not you. It's
go
it's
and
them.
have a break.
It's
Break
not you,
your
it's them.
routine.
It's not you, it's
Go
them.
to nature maybe. Go camping for a few days. Put your feet into the ground.
It's
Feel
not
the
you,
earth.
it's me.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you. It's not you, it's me. It's
Okay,
me.
sounds
I
like
need to
that.
work on myself.
Okay, you work on
I need to
yourself.
work on myself.
But this morning's coffee
Actually,
has
that would
become
be quite
psychotherapy. Yeah.
I wonder why 50-year-olds will walk away from their marriages.
Why is
It's not
that?
that we don't love you.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I just want to go be a teenager again. I just want to go do
That
it one more
that
time.
midlife crisis.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
with teenagers. Ugh. With my age group.
Yeah.
And have discos,
Mm-hmm.
you know, have like cruises,
Yeah, cruising.
you know, and do the washing machine.
Okay.
And eat a kebab and say it's the best kebab I've ever had, and then you eat it sober and you go, and that was shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for bringing you here. That was shit.
Tasted good at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I definitely was drunk when I ate that one.
Yeah, says her but never drinks. Yeah.
But no, like, I think it's just, we all are craving freedom. You're all very controlled. You're living in boxes. We're all overcrowded. Yeah. Please understand.
Or you're tied down as a carer by paperwork.
These things that I just mentioned are actually torture. Mm-hmm. They come under the category. Controlled. When you're controlled, when your environment is like, say you're living in your crouched in because your neighbours can hear you fart, your neighbours can hear you
breathing.
Your conversation if you're having coffee on
sirens in the background.
In your backyard or on your patio or on your balcony. Sorry, you know, this is what. And what was the other thing I mentioned? Just being crowded. You know, like
it's claustrophobic feeling.
These things are things that break people's minds.
Spirit, heart, and soul.
Yeah. Yes, they break your will. They bring you down. So
they make you conform. Make you get up in the morning.
You're
and have to go to work and pay the credit card debt.
Space and being independent. You're very controlled. So sorry. And I don't know why I'm saying sorry because I'm not the government.
Yeah. Well, sorry, you're saying sorry. I don't know now. Sorry, you're saying sorry for your own experience and for the people that are having to go through this at the end of the day. Well, I think it's been very philosophical, very insightful. This is what happens when we wake up at 3:11 in the morning and have seizures. We have philosophical conversations.
Well, there's your discussion on my psychology.
Yeah.
After my degree, it's like, that's my input.
Yeah.
Is basically, okay, I'm a very alternative person.
Yeah.
I'm a very honest person. The people in my life always know where they stand.
Yep.
Because that's just me.
It's very transparent.
And I'm very respectful though. I'm not an arsehole because I don't hate people.
Don't need to be.
You know, I have a lot of haters actually in my family, don't I?
You have a few people in your family who are just toxic at the end of the day.
I know they say they love me, but the behaviour just shows. No, they say they love me, but the behaviour is so hatey.
Yeah, don't be worried by the few. It's the masses out there that actually love you.
It's just like, I love everyone. Like, I really just am that kind of person.
Make love, not war.
I always see the best in everyone. Except for the sociopaths. I don't like those ones.
Yeah, they're not much fun to play
with.
I
don't play with those ones.
Yep, take your bat and take your ball and go home, basically, is what I'd say.
I don't play with
Guys,
those
if you've enjoyed this morning's conversation, give Dyan a big thumbs up. There you are. If you have comments, questions, ideas and suggestions, leave them below on the conversation because I think it's probably stirred a few things up and probably got you thinking and reflecting this morning on this philosophical chat. If you're new to the channel...
I went to bed.
Indeed.
What could be any worse? Okay?
You're owning it.
Think of this. If you're having a bad time at the moment, this is just a joke, guys. I'm not trying to downplay your bad time if you are having one. But just hear this. If you're having a hard time, think of this. I wet the bed. Context. I'm 51 and I wet the bed.
Yep.
I wet the bed.
You had a seizure.
Full on. Woke up during it.
Yep.
Okay? I was wetting the bed.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies, the other birds are waking up. They're very happy. The
girls
friends
in the
are
background.
waking up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of birds around
They can hear the birds from the Perth Zoo just down the road.
Just have a laugh at that.
Is the zoo open yet?
Think to yourself and have a giggle.
Not until 10 o'clock.
Well, Dyan wet the bed. Have a giggle about that.
Exactly.
And then you won't be sad.
Well, you have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you hopefully in an episode that's not at 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe a little bit later on. Bye for now, guys. See ya.